Hey fam, I want you to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Roland S. Martin. And don't forget to turn on your notifications. All right, y'all. We're going to move on to our next story. Yesterday, NAACP President Derrick Johnson rang the closing bell at the New York Stock Exchange to highlight the NAACP's Minority Empowerment ETF. An ETF is like a mutual fund that will invest in companies that invest in our community and support the goals of the NAACP. This is a way to support social justice and maybe make some money at the same time. It's the first time in the 110-year history that the NAACP has participated in the opening or closing of the New York Stock Exchange. Joining us right now is Derrick Johnson to talk about this ETF. Derrick, glad to have you. Where did this originate from to create this ETF, and how long have y'all been working on this?
Roland, first of all, thank you for having me on the show with one of my idols, Joe Madison, who for many years served on the board and on staff. And then the person, my new boss, Tiffany Lofton, who tried to tell me what to do, even though I think she is the youth director.
She tell all of us what to do.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Right. So, you know, the concept of an electronic trading fund is born out of the legacy of the NAACP. There was a time where we had a fair share agreement program, and then we started doing industry reports. We've had other iterations of how to hold corporations accountable as it relates to our value systems and diversity. I'm sorry?
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I heard somebody talking. And so ETFs have been a growing part of investment strategies, particularly for pension funds that are adopting socially responsible lending. For the NAACP, we've already had an industry report, and we've seen this instrument as an opportunity for us to create a market-driven imperative for companies to have diversity. This is getting pension funds who have adopted social responsible investment principles, providing them with the index. And the ETF is an index on diversity. Do you have African Americans on your board? Do you have African Americans in your C-suite? What is your procurement chain? And all of those things come together. And our partner, Morningstar, through analytic firms called Synalytics, they measure companies' performance based on the companies filing their SEC forms. It is a strategy to hold corporations accountable for diversity, knowing that corporations have one responsibility legally, and that's to maximize profit for shareholders. And until we deal with impacting the profits, then we will always be in this perpetual treadmill of companies do bad, we jump in, they do good for a while until they go back and do bad again.
So with this ETF, Derrick, how can a person watching, how can someone on the panel, is it something they can invest in? So how does that work for the consumer?
It's a mutual fund for the most part.
Got it.
It's a mutual fund where people can invest in. It drives a conversation around corporate diversity. The NAACP, we are given the value proposition of what the criteria should be in terms of diversity, and then our partner, Morningstar and Impact Strategies, they manage and then they rate the funds, and what the investment that come in there, NAACP generate revenue as we hold companies accountable.
Okay.
So we're not beholden to the companies, we are beholden to a value system of diversity.
All right then. Well, we certainly appreciate it. Where can folks go learn more about this NAACP ETF?
You can look up online Impact Strategies, Impact Shares, NAACP ETF, and information come up there. You can look them up on New York Stock Exchange. The fund is publicly traded on the stock exchange. We were pleased that we had the first individual to put the $1 billion into the fund, and we're going to grow it over time.
All right. Derrick Johnson, CEO NAACP, we certainly appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
All right, folks, back to our Roland Martin Unfiltered video in just one moment. All right, folks, calling all HBCU alumni, students, and leaders, enter the Ford Motor Company HBCU Mobility Challenge and win $25,000 for your school. Building on their long-term support of HBCUs, Ford is looking to improve mobility in HBCU communities through innovative solutions. The winning program will receive a grant of up to $25,000 to implement the proposal. Now, the deadline is to apply is March 31st, 2019. Go to FGB.Life for more information to apply. FGB.Life for more information to apply. And if you're watching, tell your HBCU that if they don't know about this, they need to be doing it. You should be pushing this on social media. Again, folks, 25 grand that could go to one of the HBCU campuses. Ford goes further in our community, and we certainly appreciate them being a partner here on Roland Martin Unfiltered. Now back to your Roland Martin Unfiltered video.